Yeah, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. And Wayabe Eduzola Nohua. Um, Yayi Ibira Waya, Salobano de Bagwaya. Away Edenogbe, Bena, Edogogo, Edo, Emiliano Yeme, Eno. Uh, well, for those of you who cannot speak and understand my beautiful language, the Edo Benin language, I say good morning to you all. Happy Sunday, and I hope every one of you are having a great day because today is a great day and every day is a great day. But it depends on the situation we find ourselves. Yes, I'm still on the banning of Okuku, Adan, and Nepen and the dressing code. Yes, if you look at the social media in the past few days, it's like the social media is burning because of Okuku, Ada Aneben, and so many other things that are being banned by the Benin Traditional Council or that are being placed cost on. To my own knowledge, to my own research, I did my own research and find out that during the reign of Oba Eridiawa, that the Okuku, the Ada Anebe, was already banned for the public to be used. And it's like we, the Edos or the Benis, we lack respect, respecting our tradition and custom and the heritage. And that is why all this we are also going on in the social media because we disrespect what the Obas and the Benin Traditional Council said during the reign of Oba Eridiawa. So now it seems like everything is new, although it's not new because we know already this we are already banned and we are already having a dress code. All the Edo people have the dress code, just like the Vatican. It's like the king house, all the kings. If you go to Britain, they have a dress code. If you go to Germany, they have a dress code. If you go to Monaco, they have a dress code. If you go anywhere you go, if you go to Sweden, they they have a dress code. If you go to the Netherlands, they have a dress code. You know, it's not just if you go to Thailand, if you go to Japan, if you go, they have a dress code. There is a code that is reserved for the I would say for the king, for the queen, and for the wives, and for the relatives of the kings, for the chiefs, and for the prince and princess, and for all other people like we are, because I don't count myself out of it, because I'm also a human being like you, and we all are one people. Yes, as a Benin person, everybody need to air his voice. That is reserved. That is what our fathers, forefathers told us, and that is what we learn from our forefathers. That we have the right to air our voice. Things are going wrong, and that is also very very important. Yes, I also hear the voice of people complaining. How can we now promote our tradition without using Ada Anebe, without using Okuku, without wearing uh, clothes where Ada Anebe are being represented. Yes, the Benis are very, very creative people. I'm not talking about the Edo alone, because when I talk about Benin, I mean so many tribes like Isan, Robo, Isoko, Shakiri, Ika, Kwani, and all these people. We are very, very creative and intelligent people, and we can create more. And we already have a dress code, which is the EU represented in that dress code. We have other symbols we can use we can use without even using other anebe. You know, because there's one thing, and that there has always been the mistake we have been making. If we love our culture, our tradition, our heritage, we need to also take extreme measure to make sure we protect it so that the next generation will also have to protect it for us. You see, if we communalize and misuse all these things, it will have no value in the future. I want to make examples. I know they have nothing to do with our tradition. Take, for example, Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola. Before you can produce a Pepsi-Cola or cola, it's almost impossible. The American companies who owns the Coca-Cola name and Pepsi-Cola is protected that no one else can even use the recipe or the ingredients that they are using for their own cola to produce your own cola, even though in the private, in your indoor. So I think we still need to some extreme measure to take to really protect Adanebe, to protect Iwu, to protect Okuku, to protect our dressing code so that other people will not use it against us in the future. Because the step the Oba of Benin and the Benin Traditional Council has taken, I support it, but they have to go further. They have to go further. They have to secure it. If there must also be some ways that can be allowed that we, the Edos, or the Benis, or the Esan, the Shekiri, and other, could take permission to use those symbols, maybe in cultural dance or any cultural activities that is going to be taking place. I believe the Palace and the Benin Traditional Council should make it possible. And this must be on a written document, be issued out, and with guidelines that this is what it takes to use the other Anepe, to use Okuku, and to use so many other things that is related to our tradition. In Japan, for example, today, you cannot just wake up and start putting on the dressing code of the king. It's likewise in Britain, it's in Germany, even in Austria, they have their own dressing code that is reserved for their own royal family. Although their royal family doesn't have the role to play in the public life, but they are still being paid as royal people. So we need to go further. For example, Microsoft, Windows, you talk about Windows. Before you can use Windows, you have to pay for it. You need a license to pay to start using Windows. To use Mac, the same. To use Google, although it's free in some ways, but at the same time, immediately you go into Google, they will ask you to sign in. You sign in with your own identity. You have already paid the price. So we need to start thinking more further than just discussing uh, or bringing up our ideas that are irrelevant. Because when you build a house, you protect it so that people doesn't come in to rob your house. When you buy a car or you bought any car you bought, you take also measures to make sure your car is not stolen. If you have a motorcycle, you do the same. If you have a bike here, you do the same. You cannot just wake up and start using things that you know is meaningful to us, making them to be useless. This is where we should, or the Benin Traditional Council has to take extreme measure to make sure all these things are protected in one way or the other, and also make it a little bit available for people who maybe who are trying to bring any theme or do traditional event or so for the public to have access to these materials with a written document, with the guidelines and everything that protect the other animal, and what to do and what not to do, because this is also very, very important. And if they look at the situation, they also have the right to deny anybody the use of those cultural heritage and our traditional figures. You see, if we would have taken extreme measure to protect what we love, all this we are discussing on social media would have not been a topic. And at the same time, we forgot to understand that when you love something, you need to protect it. You need to provide extra security for it. Because immediately the useless it, another people will help you to useless it. And that is what was going on right now. And I want to also talk to other Benin's tribes, like or ethnics, like the Esan, Urobo, Isoko, Ishekiri, and so many other ones that are using other anebe. Yes, we know some of the traditional houses and some of the people there left Benin to go and settle down in those areas. I think their kings or their chiefs also have the authority to use the other anebe. Apart from those people, no other person is allowed to use other anebe, because other anebe is not just a ceremonial uh, a ceremonial item. You know, it's also very, very important that we understand that other anebe is also a weapon. It's also a weapon that was used by our own forefathers, our ancestors, to defend our land from invaders. So we need to start doing things to protect, so that the next generation, the next and the next and the next generation, it will still be useful to them. They will still understand what it means to be holding Ada and Eben on their hand, or to put on Okuku. Okuku, and I want to make people to understand again too, that Okuku is not all Okuku that is banned. There's Okukus that are made for the public, which the public can be using. We are very creative people, as I said before. We can create something that is magical with Okuku to the world, to present to the world, you know. And anything you develop in this world, you make sure there's an upgrade. You know, we can be upgrading everything that we love. And it's very, very important we do that. It's not just a matter of crying on social media. People are calling for demonstration. People are calling for this and that. It doesn't really help the situation, because if you love something, you protect it. And this is what we should be doing. We need to protect what we love, and the Benin Traditional Council and the Oba of Benin is in charge of our culture, our tradition, and our heritage. And they are taking measure. The first step they have taken now to secure, to make sure Ada and Eben, Okuku, and our dressing code are being used in the rightful manner. And I feel this is a very, very important step, trying to protect all we love about our tradition. Because until this very, very day, the Benin Traditional Council plays calls, or our Ohens and the Ikyo hens and all that place calls on those people that is using other Aben and Eben, Okuku and all that in a disrespectful manner. I haven't even heard that there was a ban until after my first live broadcast, and somebody gave me the information, and I went back to recollect that that is really true, that is not new. But what is new is the placing of the course. You know, we always say, Oba Tiebo, Enika Ogwina. So the Oba of Benin complained to Enika, and the Enika, who are also represented by those people who were sitting down that very day to place the cause on of the misuse of our tradition, culture, and heritage. And that was also very important because we cannot allow things that are meaningful, things that are very, very important for us to be useless. We have to understand, if you look at the car you are driving today, if you look at the BMW, if you look at the Mercedes Benz, if you look at the Porsche, if you look at Ford, if you look at all the hardware and the software, everything is protected. Everything is protected. You cannot use it. You cannot even invent something that is similar. So it's very, very important we also do the needful to make sure we, this generation, preserve and respect our tradition and culture, so that the next generation can as well be looking at us and say, oh, my father did that, and it was a good thing. Let me continue. I know many of you are afraid that we cannot, the Benin culture and tradition will go into extinct. No, it will not go into extinct. Yes, there are mistakes that have been made before. Many people talk about Lagos, talk about other places that formerly belongs to Benin. But we know that a big and a large empire like that of the Benin before was a very, very difficult task to protect. Our tradition will not go into extinct if we continue to protect it and cherish it. There are so many ways, there are so many things we can do to promote our culture and tradition. It's not by uselessing it in the social media. You know, you know, and my so those of you that are saying the Palace Place cause or the Benin Traditional Council, all those sort of things. If you look at our own tradition in the social media, it's like it's becoming a tradition in the social media to the Benin people. If you look at them, many of them, when they are starting, it's like, oh God, this and that. And these are the people who are crying now. You know, when you yourself, you are doing the same every day. So I don't understand most of our people. Really, to say the fact, it's very, very difficult sometimes to understand our people. You know, we cry over things that are not other uh, now important. You know, for me, the most important thing out of this this moment is the project allocation of the federal government of Nigeria. If you look at the whole project that is being allocated, that is being given out to states, Edo State has no single one. If you look at the whole appointment, the South is less, more or less not represented. We don't have international airport. We doesn't really have a federal road like the one from Lagos to Calabar or to Port Harcourt or where it's going. It's not passing through Benin. We doesn't have a seaport. And now they are building a dry port in Ogun State, where we are just looking and crying over other another. I think we should start thinking more further, We fight over unnecessary issue, things that are not really important, but things that are important. Edo State is an oil producing state. It's a gas producing state. The revenue Nigeria is using to develop other states is coming from the Edo State and Delta State. But if you look at the allocation for all these states or for the Edo State, then you have to start thinking twice. Where did they get it wrong? How is our people so brainwashed that we are all represented, that we cannot even form one organization that can represent all the whole South, or to represent Edo State so that we will have a voice? But we cannot do that. But all we can do is to put blame in social media, challenging the decision of the Oba of Benin or the Benin Traditional Council. It's really, really disgusting. It's very, very sad to be seeing this in the social media. The federal allocation, go and look at it. The project allocation, go and look at it. Go and look where Edo State is. Even in the government, no Edo person is there. The only South we have there is Wake, which is also a housemaster. How are we please represented? Why are we fighting over Ada Enepe? Why are we fighting over Okuku? Why are we fighting over dressing code? When things that are very, very important to our future, we cannot fight for that. In the past 2 months, I have been using text messages in Facebook, in every aspect of social media, calling on our people to wake up. If it is a curse that is being placed on us, to plead with all God Almighty to remove that curse. If we are so brainwashed not to understand the importance of this life and what is going on in Nigeria, we have to wake up. Wake up, because we are equal to the task. And you see, all these things you are seeing, it's not just happening because they want to happen. People want it to happen so that we will not talk about economic development in the state, so that we cannot talk about how to develop our state. We have to be fighting over unnecessary things and the unnecessary fight, while other people are developing their states. We need a seaport. Even though it's a dry port, we need it. International airport, we need it. We need the connection to the railway. We don't have it in Benin. No federal project is taking place in Benin. Not even our expressway they can repair for us. So let us start talking about things that are really important, not things that are meaningful, are useless, and all those sort of things. So let us start doing things before it's too late. Let us be raising our voice before it's too late. Those of you challenging the decision of the Benin Traditional Council, challenging the decision of the Oba of Benin, you should also go out there to challenge the project allocation of the federal government. Go out there to challenge the federal government why there is no Edo person or people from the South in the government. Why are we not represented? Go out there and challenge. And people are saying we are doing nothing. Yes, we are doing something, but you are not following. There are so many organizations there. I have been so many of them. And I've been seeing so many of them doing their best to make sure to wake up our people. But it's like our people are not willing to be waked. It's like they close their eyes and we blame the blame game. Blaming the other people for their failure. Blaming other people for what they did wrong. So it is time you people start waking up. Let us make our region one of the greatest in Nigeria because we have the resources we need. The money they are using to develop Ogun State, to develop Oyo State, to develop Ondo State, to develop other region is coming from our own region, South. We are gaining nothing. We are closing our eyes. We are closing our eyes to say, oh, it's their turn. When is it your turn? You know, it makes me feel sad when I see our people misbehaving. And many people are just saying, what is the Oba of Benin doing for the Edo people? You don't understand because you are not in that position. I'm in that position to understand that he's doing a lot. Try to understand that your voice also can't. We fight and we fight and we fight without result, without even knowing what is meaningful and what is useless. Because the discussion that is going on in the social media about Ada and Eben and Okuku is useless. On your brain. Put it on. And use it. Because the Edo people, the Benin people, the Benis are sharp, intelligent people, but they are refusing to use the intelligence they have here. So thank you for joining me, and I appreciate. Yeah, you may have other opinion, but this is my opinion. Everything I've been saying today is my own opinion. Like it or not, it might be is the truth, and I tell you it's the truth, then it's the truth. Because I'm not interested in politics, but when it comes to my people, when it comes to protecting my people, awareness, and what will benefit our people, I will still be saying it, whether you like it or not. So thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye. Happy New Month once again. Bye-bye.